One of the huge movies coming out this year, obviously, is Batman versus Superman.
Woo-hoo.
And
Yes.
a lot of people, when we first heard the casting, were kind of even making fun of Ben Affleck as Batman. But I think as we've seen trailers come out, people are getting more and more excited. Schnepp, you are a comic book connoisseur. So should people be excited or pessimistic about Batman versus Superman, and why?
Hey, look, I think if you're a comic book fan, you should be over the moon excited, jumping around like, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. If you're just a regular movie going and you love enjoying big blockbuster films, you should also be really excited. I think what they did with this film, as far as from all the press and all the trailers and everything I've seen, is taken two giant characters and put them in one film that's never been done before. It looks epic. It looks giant. It looks like a massive slugfest. It looks exciting. They've chucked a lot of other characters in there that I've heard a lot of complaining about people. Oh, there's too many characters. It worked great with Avengers. They're just reverse engineering. I think it's going to be quite a fantastic film. So I'm really, really excited about it. Yeah, sure, there was a couple of misfires with the second trailer, but beyond that, it looks really fun.
So you think it's going to be a good film?
I actually think it's going to be a good film.
Yeah,
I
because
think
we talk a lot about on the show about whether we're excited about it.
Right.
We talk a lot about whether we like the trailers or not. We talked a lot about whether or not it's going to make a lot of money. But one of the things we have not actually talked a lot about here, oddly enough, is do we actually think the film is going to be any good? I mean, that really comes down to it. So I'll try to play both sides of the coin here, okay? Why should we be optimistic? Number one, because despite what some yahoos think, Man of Steel was fucking awesome. Man of Steel was awesome. I love that film. It gets better every time I see it. I think Zack Snyder did a magnificent job with that. Number two, I think Ben Affleck was a stroke of freaking genius to get him. Like we talked about it before, like, oh, the world laughed when they announced that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, and ain't nobody laughing anymore. That doesn't mean everybody's bought into it, but nobody's laughing anymore. Now that we've seen what he's kind of bringing, what kind of style and tone of a Batman he's bringing, I think we got that look forward to. Henry Cavill has been a great Superman since Man of Steel, so I think that's a really good thing. We're getting a story here that we have been waiting to see for decades. Batman versus Superman. And finally, the most important, popular, dominant female superhero in the history of the world, Wonder Woman, is finally making her big screen appearance. I think there is a lot of reasons to be optimistic about this, and I'll go on record right now. I think Batman versus Superman is going to be a very good movie. I think it's going to be a very good movie. I don't just have high hopes for it. I think it's going to be a very good movie. Now, playing the other side of the coin, though, I can understand why some people might feel a little pessimistic. The second trailer, we're not going to go into it all that much, but there's that. Some people have raised objections about their, even though we're not seeing them in the trailers, that this is going to be a crowded film. There's going to be a lot of people in there. And I've always said, it really depends on how you use characters. There's not a magic number that equals crowded and one that equals not. A 4-person movie can feel crowded. A 40-person film can feel just fine. So, I mean, but it's understandable why some people raise it up. Some people like me, not very big on the Wonder Woman casting choice. I would have liked to have seen a lot more credible, long-standing actresses who have actually spent their lives being actresses instead of making it their second career. But Zack Snyder cast her, so maybe he saw something we didn't. So I understand why some people will still look at Batman v Superman and be a little bit pessimistic. I get it, I do. For me, though, I think the pros way outweigh the cons, and I do think this is going to be a really good film. What about you?
I think you should be optimistic, but I think you should be cautious. And I think because the problem that you might run into with this movie is that there's a lot going on, as you mentioned, but we also have seen Zack Snyder in the past has really become a little bit sometimes style over substance. And that add that with everything that's going on inside of this movie, you could get into some tricky situation. That being said, it's Batman and Superman. And we finally get to see them together, and it is also the formation of not only the Justice League, it's the formation really of the DCU. Man of Steel started it out, but this is the stuff, that the events that are going to bring us further into the DCU. So in regards to, I think it'll be a good movie. I think it has the possibilities of being a really good movie, and I also think the addition of Ben Affleck, who I will admit, when it was announced, I was not thrilled by it, and I'm one of those people who has changed their tune. And it also has to do a lot with what he does as a director. And I think because of him there with Zack Snyder and helping Zack Snyder, because it's really, Ben Affleck also will be helping Zack Snyder, and maybe it's going to be a kind of a collaboration now. That is why I think you should be optimistic that this will be a good movie?
I think this movie's going to kick ass. And look, caution is great, and it's necessary in what we do as far as being critics and reviewing movies. But I'm a fan.
That's
first
why you
and
have 4
foremost.
kids.
That's why I have 19 kids whose names I don't remember. I got drunk and named them after Leonard
They're all
Skinner
named
members.
Eddie. Come on.
Most of them are named Eddie. So look, if you're a fan of this, you should be going in and you should be optimistic. You should be over the moon that they made a movie about Batman fighting Superman. Your life is too short to walk around and be nervous about, oh, am I going to like this form of art? Just get excited. That's the most fun part about this stuff, is getting hyped, is getting jacked up. If you go in and you hate it, are they gonna execute your puppy? No, just go in. You didn't like the movie as much as you did, but you should enjoy the excitement going in, which is why I always tell people I don't like when trailers give away too much, but get excited. Watch trailers. But it's little 2-minute pieces of art, and it gets you excited. It's fun to enjoy and celebrate this stuff. It's not fun to walk around and be like, that movie looks stupid, but I'll go see it anyway.
I'm feeling nervous about this. I'm anxious about this. Relax.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
enjoy it, celebrate it, man. It's a movie.
Little known fact that John Wick was actually, his puppy was killed because he didn't like Batman v Superman.
That's right. Reverse engineered it.
Who's got room in their wallet for a condom? I mean, forget caution. Throw it to the wind. All right, what's next?
All right. Well, I am a gossip queen. You guys know
Nice.
this. I love gossip.
No.
I love
Here's some gossip.
I'm gonna dish with the gossip
Yeah.
after this episode of Movie Talk. Okay, so
Your Mark had a 20th kid.
Named
yay.
Sammy. That was controversial.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at Collider.